I tested 5 different backpacks in 2025 before finally landing on the 18-ounce Wonder Pack that actually worked. And today I'm breaking down all of my ultralight wins and fails from this year, the gear that has truly earned a spot in my kit, and the stuff that just didn't hold up. So let's start with the best picks first. First up is the Mountain Laurel Designs Exodus 55. Now, this pack literally almost replaced every other pack in my entire lineup. It can haul a full week's worth of food or compress down for a simple overnight, and it only weighs 18 ounces. What surprised me most was how well it handled heavier loads. The materials are tough, the shoulder straps are thicker and more comfortable than I expected from a frameless backpack, and it carried 20 plus pounds without any drama. It's easily one of the best ultralight packs for the money. Next is the Enlightened Equipment Revelation 50 synthetic quilt. At just 12.5 ounces, it nails the balance of weight, performance, and cost. I grabbed mine for $160 on sale, and it instantly lowered my base weight while still keeping me comfortable all summer long. It's also a fantastic supplemental quilt for colder temps. Classic Enlightened Equipment quality, no surprises, just reliable performance. But just keep in mind, this is a summer quilt, not a shoulder season or a winter option. Next is the Sleep and Go Waffle Inflatable Pad, the surprise hit of the year. For under $40, it's comfortable, it's wide, and it inflates super fast. Even at 190 pounds, I never bottomed out while laying on this pad, which honestly shocked me. At 13.5 ounces, it's strictly a summer pad, but for the price and the comfort, it's pretty much unbeatable. It's now my go-to warm weather inflatable. I even prefer it over my higher end pads like the Nemo Tensor. All right, time for some pillow talk. The Big Sky International pillow is another huge win of 2025. At just roughly 2 ounces, it gives me the perfect 4 inches of height for side sleeping, and that makes a massive difference on trail. For $30, it proves that ultralight comfort doesn't have to be expensive. I don't love the twist valve, but it still replaced the heavier, less comfortable pillow I used before. Stakes get overlooked sometimes, but these Ibasingo titanium stakes became a standard of my ultralight kit. They're about 1/4 ounce each, easy to push into the ground, and I haven't had one pull out yet. For $15 a pack, they're perfect for non-critical tie-outs or even as backups. Lightweight, cheap, reliable, exactly what you're looking for. And finally, Dance Pants. Been going on and on about these. Jupiter Hikes put me onto these, and honestly, they are freaking incredible. At just 3.5 ounces, they disappear into your pack, but they deliver huge comfort, perfect for sleeping, camp lounging, or even chilly mornings. For about $30, they're surprisingly warm for their weight, and they have earned a permanent spot in my kit. Easily one of my favorite additions of 2025. You can find them linked in the description below. And while you're down there, hit like and subscribe. I've got plenty more ultralight gear tips coming in future videos. All right, now let's talk about the gear that didn't really hold up for me this year, starting with the backpacks. I tested 5 different packs in 2025 before settling on the Mountain Laurel Designs Exodus. And these 4 just never earned a permanent spot in my ultralight rotation. First up are the Osprey Talon Velocity and the Montane Trailblazer, 2 very similar 30-liter fast packs. At the start of the year, I thought a feature-rich fast pack would be perfect for all of my trips, including my ultralight trips. But after real trail testing, both had the same issues. They're too heavy for their capacity, they're not adaptable across seasons, and the extra features didn't actually really lighten my load or help me out a ton. On paper, they looked great, but on trail, they were more limiting than helpful. The next pack is the Mountain Laurel Designs Core 25, which only weighs 8.1 ounces, which is fantastic, but it's simply too minimal for how I hike. With no rear mesh pocket, no water bottle pockets, and almost no organization whatsoever, it lacked the convenience I really rely on during long days. And the next pack is the Osprey Exos 58. And to be totally clear, this is still a great pack. I originally bought it for winter backpacking because my Exos 48, it just didn't have enough room for the bulky cold weather gear that I carried. The 58 liters gave me the extra volume and comfort that I needed. But once I picked up the Mountain Laurel Designs Exodus, the Exos became kind of redundant at that point. The Exos carries almost the same volume, weighs about 1.5 pounds less, and it compresses down for my smaller trips too. And after multiple outings, I'm very confident that I can rely on the Exodus even in winter, which means I really don't need a heavier framed pack at this point. It's still a super solid pack. It's just no longer my best option. And quick note before we continue, the next couple of items were actually in my trail tested favorites earlier this year, but after putting more miles on them, some flaws started to show, and that's just how real world testing works sometimes. So first up is the Outdoor Vitals Vario jacket. So the Vario isn't a bad jacket by any means. It just doesn't match the way I hike. It sits in a weird middle zone. It's too warm while I'm moving, and it's not warm enough when I stop moving. I found myself just constantly getting either overheated or chilly when I was wearing it. And when I switched to the Windbreaker Alpha Direct combo, that sort of completely replaced what the Vario was supposed to do and add a lighter weight with way more versatility. So after that, the Vario had no real purpose in my kit. Next is the Mountain Laurel Design Spirit 28 synthetic quilt. I picked this quilt up to experiment with a synthetic quilt, and while it's very well made, it ended up being sort of a miss for me. First reason is because of the weight. At 1 pound 10 ounces, it's very heavy for a 30-degree quilt, especially when it doesn't drastically outperform lighter options. Next is the packability. Synthetic just doesn't compress as much as down, and this thing takes up more space in my pack than I would like. And the kicker, for about $100 more, I could have bought a warmer, lighter, more compressible down quilt from Enlightened Equipment or several other companies. It's not a bad quilt, and I'll still use it for some winter trips, but if I could redo the purchase, I would probably go down instead. Next gear item is the Pika lid. So Justin Outdoors reached out to me and offered to send me a Pika lid, and I figured I'd give it a try, even though I don't really carry isopro fuel very often. I just hope the extra features might still be worth it. But after wrestling with the lid on my pod and factoring the added weight, I just kind of realized it just wasn't for me. Next item is the Outdoor Vitals Nebo Windbreaker. So listen, let's be clear, I have zero regrets carrying a windbreaker this year. It's been an awesome layer, but I just wish I chose something lighter. At 3.5 ounces, the Nebo is on the heavier side compared to ultralight options like the Z-Pac's Ventum. I actually ordered the Ventum as a replacement, should be coming pretty soon. And that's why the Nebo just lands on the flopped list this year. And next up is the Nitecore NU27. And this is one of the items on this list I really actually very much dislike.
Well, the old Nitecore NU27 has died on me. But I came prepared. I brought a second headlamp just in case. Thank God. Kind of disappointed.
Has a weak battery life, unnecessary modes. It's heavier than my NU25. And it has no proper flood beam. It's a rare miss from Nitecore, and I'd skip this one. It's just not worth your money. That's it for me, y'all. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me what gear you loved or ditched this year. I'll see you soon. Peace, guys.